That is sort of separate to what happens here. Of course, Liverpool have to focus on the task now, which is getting their own results together and winning a series of games. We sort of mentioned the fact it's Sunderland next. It won't be easy. They're high energy, Gary, up and at you, especially at home. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Now, I don't know, maybe there's an argument that will bring the best out of this group if we can respond in the right way. You know, you want somewhere where they're going to come at you and not sit back, and it'll certainly be full throttle.
Well, hopefully it brings the best out of us. I think it just shows you like the variances that you face like on a game-to-game basis. You know, you come up against a very technical like Manchester City side. Not to say like that Sunderland aren't technical, but they're far more robust. They're far more probably direct. Utilise their strengths. Balls from wide areas will get thrown into the box. Throw-ins will be taken like long throw-ins. You got to defend second balls. Whereas like we just made the reference that Manchester City, they're very reluctant to throw the ball into the box. Sunderland won't be on Wednesday night. You'll have to have like the likes of Kanati and Virgil van Dijk being very, very strong, winning their headers, but most of all defending second place. We
need to react to things, and when we play up there, because if you remember the game here, the goalkeeper in his own half, 10 yards in his own half, in wide positions, the centre-backs were going all the way up, and they were diagonal balls into the box, looking for knockdowns and everything. It's at that point where we should be better in transition into trying to hit them on the break. But we certainly didn't do enough here. We were very, very slow and to react and things. And you just look at it and we have got to be better.
I just wonder, they've got some good players, you know, Brian Brobby, Enzo Lafay, Shamsdean Talbi. They've got players who can cause problems for you. But I think the biggest thing about Sunderland at home, it's so high energy. It can be a bit chaotic at times, frenzied at times. We've spoken about the fact that we haven't this season done well in that kind of atmosphere. How do you go about preparing yourself now as a group for that kind of environment?
Listen, with Liverpool Football Club, we need to react. Now, we've been beaten by Manchester City. We got beat by Manchester United here and shouldn't have lost that game. And I just think, as players, you have to react. You have to go. You literally know what you're going to get at Sunderland. You know, we've played them already. It is long balls. It is physical. We've got to meet that, but we've got to be better. As you say, when we do turn over, we've got to make sure we are clinical at that other end. And Arne Slot said to it, at both ends today, we've been sloppy. We don't win the header in our box. You get punished. And Ali makes that. And then in the other end of the pitch, we've not been clinical enough.
We also need spirit of determination, fight, and we saw that in that last-minute stop by Fede Chiesa in the game here, which prevented that draw becoming a defeat. It's an interesting spell for the Reds manager, Arne Slot. Frustrated, no doubt, by the result today. What has he made of this match against Manchester City? Let's find out. He's inside, speaking with Pete. Yeah, you can hear and see the frustration of the manager there, and that's understandable, Tom. He's right, there had been a lot of situations this season where it has been small margins, or moments where it flipped the other way. All of a sudden it's a very different picture. We made reference to it tonight, and it gets to a point as a manager where that really starts to grate on you and frustrate you more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm trying to, obviously Mo gets free with Gay. I'm trying to think if there was any covering defenders at that particular time, because it was just between the...
He's right of goal, maybe, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the right of goal, but I'm saying where the D is and where the edge of the box. So it will be interesting to have a look at it again, because I didn't think at the time, I was thinking, is it in the box for a penalty kick? But when I looked at it, it was outside the box. So really, they obviously get real-time analysis.
I think Ruben Dias was maybe the covering defender, or the one they would have deemed to be the covering defender.
But it's things like that. It's small margins which are going against us. The Nonto one at Leeds, which obviously Arne said there, that was similar. There's no way he's getting the ball. He's literally... Nonto was about 12 inches away from the byline and knocked it straight out, which was quite astonishing. But again, as we say, some officials never played the game and they're just going on what they see, and there's a collision.
And also, I guess, Gary, taking a step back, you've almost got to earn your own luck, haven't you? You do enough to take it away from that kind of thing happening. You score a second goal, you control the tempo of the game. That's the other argument to it. And I guess the way he and everyone has to look at it if they're going to get out of this little run of stop-start results.
Well, there's an old adage in golf, like the more you practice, the luckier you get. And sometimes that can be the case. The harder you try and like train, like obviously the luckier you get. But it does seem. I mean, even from a pundit's point of view, like when you think about all the decisions and late goals that have gone against us, it is thin margins. But unfortunately, they've all gone against us, and you've got to deal with that and just get on with it and try and correct it, and obviously make these thin margins irrelevant, and go and try and win the game like we did against Newcastle, like quite comfortably, and score more than one goal.
For all our audience, Gary must practice an awful lot of golf, because I'm told he's very lucky. I guess taking a step back, we've had dips this season and difficult moments this season, but we go back to our pre-match discussions today, Tomo. We're playing better now than we have done previously at points. We had a real problem, November time, where we weren't playing well. We're playing better than that now. We have to kind of remind ourselves of that.
And it is, and we have to look at that, because some of the football at times wasn't good, but we still, and there's a lot of doubters came back again, and not enough believers, and you're just seeing that was changing. First half didn't have you believing, by the way, because I don't think it was good enough. But certainly the second half, there was a lot there to like. There was a lot more, and there was a lot more chances coming in. I think Gary said the one the one against Newcastle, he scuffs into the bottom corner more or less. This one, he probably gets a bit more purchase, and he had a lot of the goal to aim at and gets deflected wide. Little things like that don't go your way, but again, you have to earn the right to have that look.
You certainly do. Gentlemen, thank you for your company here at Anfield today. That is us done for this evening. Next time we are with you on Matchday Live is that midweek game up at the Stadium of Light. Matchday Live returns on Wednesday evening. It is an 8:15 kickoff, so we are on air from 7 p.m. with all the build-up before live audio commentary of all the action. Yeah, here on Merseyside today, not what we wanted. Despite a Szoboszlai stunner, the Reds couldn't see it out. It's Manchester City who take the points, and they are the ones looking to try and chase down Arsenal at the top of the Premier League. For us, though, it's on to Wearside. Goodbye.
Ipswich have been criticised from within the game for the lack of application on the really big occasion, and it was Whelan looking to feed off, and then Rush!
But now from Dalglish, Rush had anticipated it, and how he made it play!